Advanced Residential Applications and Case Studies. Chapter 5, The Reporting Process, page 20. Summary. In this chapter, we focused on the reporting process for all properties. We pointed out areas that require special attention when reporting on the appraisal of complex properties. We reviewed Standards Rule 2-1 and the portions of Standards Rule 2-2 that apply to appraisal reports. We discussed their applicability to reporting of the appraisals of complex properties. We opened up the topic of narrative appraisal reports and illustrated some options for residential appraisers. How about another chapter ending quiz? End of page. Page 21. Chapter 5 ending quiz. This quiz has a total of 11 questions. There will be one question per page. You must achieve 80% to pass this quiz. Start quiz. Number 1. Appraisal involves two processes. The first is appraisal development. What is the second? A. Reconciliation. B. Final opinion of value. C. Reporting. Or D. Highest and best use. I'm going to go C. Reporting. Number 2. When reporting the appraisal of a complex property, the report must contain sufficient information to enable proper understanding on the part of A. Anyone who might receive a copy of it. B. The government regulators. C. The borrower. Or D. The intended users. I'm going to go D. The intended users. Number 3. What two dates must be in every written real property appraisal report as required by Standards Rule 2-2? A. The date of the report preparation and date of assignment agreement. B. The effective date and date of report. C. The effective date and date of inspection. Or D. The date of inspection and date of report. I'm going to go B. The effective date and date of report. Number 4. When an appraiser receives an assignment to appraise a complex property, it is safe to assume that the client is already aware of the property's complexity. True or false? I'm going to go false. Number 5. The pre-printed language in a URAR appraisal report states the intended user is A. Fannie Mae. B. The appraisal management company. C. The lender/client. Or D. The borrower. I'm going to go C. The lender/client. Number 6. Which is one of the written report options under USPAP? A. Self-contained appraisal report. B. Appraisal report. C. Summary appraisal report. Or D. Narrative appraisal report. I'm going to go straight to appraisal report B. That one I'm not 100% on. Number 7. Which USPAP report option is typically requested by clients in residential mortgage lending situations? A. Appraisal report. B. Limited appraisal report. C. Restricted appraisal report. Or D. Narrative appraisal report. I think it's just a straight appraisal report. Number 8. Why do many residential appraisers fear writing narrative reports? A. Residential appraisers are not qualified to write narrative type reports. B. They are unfamiliar with the report style because they rarely use it. C. They fear they will put too much information in the report. Or D. The narrative report format is not USPAP compliant. I'm going to go B. They are unfamiliar with the report style because they rarely use it. Number 9. What must the appraiser do if his appraisal client wishes to remain anonymous? A. Withdraw from the assignment. B. Document the client's identity in the report anyway in order to comply with USPAP. C. Leave the client's section of the report blank. Or D. Omit the client's identity from the report, but document the client's identity in the work file. I'm going to go D. Number 10. Standard 2 reporting requirements are important in all real property appraisal reports, but are especially critical in the appraisal of what type of property? A. Complex. B. Residential. C. Commercial. Or D. Manufactured. I'm going to go A. Complex. And lastly, number 11. The URAR form is intended for use in reporting A. Market value. B. Any type of value as long as it is specifically stated. C. Quick sale value. Or D. Anticipated sales price. I'm going to go A. Market value. Assessment completed. Finish. You passed. You got 100%. So remember, number 1, appraisal involves 2 processes. The first is appraisal development. What is the second? You said reporting, and that was correct. Number 2, when reporting the appraisal of a complex property, the report must contain sufficient information to enable proper understanding on the part of, you said, intended users, and that was correct. Number 3, what 2 dates must be in every written real property appraisal report as required by Standards Rule 2-2? You said the effective date and date of report, and that was correct. Number 4, when an appraiser receives an assignment to appraise a complex property, it is safe to assume that the client is already aware of the property's complexity. True or false? You said false, and that was correct. Number 5, the pre-printed language in the URAR appraisal report states the intended user is, you said the lender/client, and that is correct. Number 6, which is one of the written report options under USPAP? You said appraisal report, and that is correct. Number 7, which USPAP report option is typically requested by clients in residential mortgage lending situations? You said appraisal report, and that was correct. Number 8, why do so many residential appraisers fear writing narrative reports? You said they are unfamiliar with the report style because they rarely use it, and that was correct. Number 9, what must the appraiser do if his appraisal client wishes to remain anonymous? You said omit the client's identity from the report, but document the client's identity in the work file, and that was correct. Number 10, Standard 2 reporting requirements are important in all real property appraisal reports, but are especially critical in the appraisal of what type of property? You said complex, and that was correct. Number 11, the URAR form is intended for use in reporting. You said market value, and that was correct. Continue. Chapter 6, Market Analysis Case Study. Page 1, Introduction to Case Study. You are a certified residential appraiser and have done residential appraisals for 5 years now in rural county. You worked under another appraiser, your brother, for the first 4 years of your career, and about a year ago, you went out on your own. You have an office in your basement, and your ruca sometimes helps with the paperwork, filing, and billing. You have been getting along all right with fairly steady work from a few local lenders. Recently, you have been able to get some appraisal work from an attorney who you know through your volunteer work with a local nonprofit agency. This attorney has been able to direct some estate work your way, as well as a few divorce cases that needed appraisals. You have done a lot of appraisal work in Parfait Acres and have built up a pretty good database. You consider yourself an expert there. In the original section of Parfait Acres, there are about 400 homes that were built in the late 1970s when the farm machinery factory opened. Most are raised ranches on half-acre lots and generally range in price from $100,000 to $120,000. There is a town park on the western edge of that section on the far side of Vanilla Street. The elementary school is on the north side of Strawberry Boulevard. which runs along the north side of the development. Strawberry Boulevard is a 4-lane road and has substantial traffic. There are apartments behind the school and several strip malls, offices, and convenience stores towards the city of Rocky Road, 2 miles west. Children are bused to the junior high and high school, 5 miles west. There is no public transportation. To the south of Sunday Hills is Mint Chips, a 9-hole public golf course, and Pistachio Nature Preserve. You feel that the neighborhood boundaries are well defined and consist of Strawberry Boulevard on the north, the town park on the west, and the golf course on the south. They are apparent because of changes in use. You consider the boundary on the east to be the Sunday Hills development because the houses are newer and larger. Sunday Hills was completed in the early 1990s and was developed out of level farmland. The surrounding property is still primarily fields of corn and soybeans. Sunday Hills consists of 188 homes, most of which are 4-bedroom colonials. There are a few ranches and one small section of duplexes. The homes range from about 2,000 to 2,400 square feet and generally have full basements. They originally sold for $140,000 to $160,000, but in the last year, sales have ranged from $180,000 to $210,000. These lots are laid out on winding roads with cul-de-sacs and average 1 acre in size. There were no trees when the houses were built, but most of the maples that were planted along the roads are now 15 to 20 feet high. There are concrete sidewalks, but no curbs, gutters, or storm sewers. The roads are maintained by the town of Peach Cobbler. There are no streetlights in the older section of Parfait Acres, but streetlights were run through Sunday Hills 2 years ago. A special district was established, and each homeowner was levied a special assessment of $8 per quarter. Both developments are served by a public sewage system. Water is supplied by a community water system that is owned by the project developer, Confectionery Contractors Incorporated. Natural gas is supplied by Burpee Utilities. It is March of 2022. That was highlighted. You were just reading in the weekly Rural Gazette that there will be a hearing of the planning board open to the public to review the plans for a proposed new development called Raspberry Fields. It will adjoin Sunday Hills on the east, but will be accessed from Strawberry Boulevard to the north. There will be 75 contemporary homes ranging from $225,000 to $275,000. Most will have 2-acre lots and feature 3-car garages and spa rooms. Just after you finished reading that article, the phone rang. It was your attorney homie. The attorney's firm represents the developers of the proposed new development. Raspberry Flats. They are looking for a market analysis of this new project before they get too deeply involved and spend too much money. They have already spent $30,000 on engineering studies and quite a bit on attorney's fees. Perhaps belatedly, they want some further assurance on the marketability of this project once they get it up and running. You are thrilled to hear this and thank the attorney profusely for the referral and for their confidence in your abilities. You have been looking for some new business, and this would be a substantial fee. It would get you in with these new clients, and after all, someone will have to do appraisals on these 75 new houses. Then you remember the competency rule. You feel comfortable with appraisals in that area, but you have never really been hired as an appraisal consultant before. You will sure have to do some studying, but you can handle it. You feel a surge of confidence and immediately say yes to the attorney. Immediately after you hang up, you begin to have second thoughts. Oh boy, what did I get myself into? How am I going to handle this? Whom can I talk to? Where am I going to get all that data I need? Or I guess I should think like an appraiser and say, what scope of work will be required to solve this valuation problem? You are supposed to meet with the attorney and the clients in 2 days to discuss the project, negotiate the fee, and put together an engagement letter. You decide you better take a few hours to sit down and prepare. You take out a legal pad and do some brainstorming and try to summarize your thoughts. You have lived in the county all your life and certainly know what's going on as well as anybody. You have written out a 1-paragraph summary of the Parfait Acres neighborhood over and over until you could recite it in your sleep. But when is the last time you ever really thought about it in detail? Has anything changed recently? you start writing out a summary of the economic trends as if you were explaining it to someone who had never been there. Author's note: this assignment is a market analysis, not an appraisal. You will not be providing a value of the proposed subdivision. You are aware of the laws in your state and know that a certified residential appraiser is permitted to take on the assignment of this type because it is not an appraisal. In real life, it is possible that in some states, a certified residential appraiser would not be permitted to take on an assignment of this type. Appraisers are expected to be aware of and comply with all laws and regulations that apply to the appraiser or to the assignment. End of page.